Bitcoin is a short-term and a short-term storage and a long-term, I think, vehicle for tremendous wealth. And it shouldn't matter these price fluctuations that happen before the ETF, after the ETF. This is just noise. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see $100,000 Bitcoin this year. I think you're going to see a lot of inflows in October, November. And I've said this for over a year. This doesn't all happen in March and April and May right after the ETF.
Gary Cardone, co-founder of Card1 Ventures and a veteran Bitcoin investor, has shared his latest forecast for the future of Bitcoin in his recent live stream. In previous days, Bitcoin has encountered challenges in getting its price up higher. Despite many anticipating a quick price surge from the successful Bitcoin ETF launch and the halving last April, Bitcoin has remained a bit stagnant. Gary Cardone assures us that this is exactly what is supposed to happen, as Bitcoin's growth is bound to happen much later this year. Despite the circulating FUD, Cardone is certain that Bitcoin could reach $100,000 this 2024. Let's now watch Gary Cardone as he goes over Bitcoin's chart to explain the asset's inevitable rise. While watching, we encourage you to show your support by giving this video a like, hitting the subscribe button, and enabling post notifications. Stick around until the end as Gary reveals how Bitcoin will give you the financial freedom you deserve. We hope you enjoy it.
Bitcoin, man, it has this supply and demand component to it that can't be altered. See, there's no price. For instance, you drive this price down to $40,000 and, coins are just going to go like, we're going to all back up. I'm going to hold on. Because of the volatility of Bitcoin, which we've had, and people complain about it.
Yeah.
For me, okay, this is the point I'm trying to make to everyone. Hey, look, this is a time horizon from 2023. I just grabbed anything, right? This is October 2023. It's about a year. What is that, a year? Not even a year, right? We're 6 months. We've gone from 26 grand up to 34, okay? Then rolled right into 42. Backed off, came back to 39, okay? Went straight up to 74, okay? And now we're chopping. These chops are big, okay? They're not small chops. This went from 51 to 74. This is a matter of, that's March, bro. March, and then it comes all the way down in 10 days, okay, to 61, $13,000 move. Goes back up another $10,000 move. Comes down again 3 days later, another $10,000 move. I mean, these are huge opportunities to be able to buy these, okay? Like I was setting bids right up here going, hey, look, this will correct at 20%. It always corrects at 20 to 30%. Like if you're not comfortable with it, David Hill, if you're not comfortable with this thing going down 20 or 25%, this is what Bitcoin does. The chart's actually very difficult to even manage because it's such a cool period of time. This is simply 2 years, dude. November 22. Okay, we're at 16,000. We're at 74. Okay, this is monster moves. I just don't get why people get jacked up. Okay, Bitcoin is a short-term and a short-term storage and a long-term, I think, vehicle for tremendous wealth. And it shouldn't matter these price fluctuations that happen before the ETF, after the ETF. This is just a noise. So just to let you guys know, okay, I am buying here. And I will probably add a considerable amount of Bitcoin to this position here. I mean, look, I need more Bitcoin. So when I see an opportunity like this, am I going to be able to buy 10 Bitcoin at this price in 2 years? Don't know, okay? I mean, maybe I can, but I sure like 57.1. If you would have told me at 74,000 and I could have picked it up at 57, I'd have been like, yeah, I'm a genius. So can it go down 10 grand? Sure, it can go down 10 grand. It could. It could go to 47. Could it go up 30? Yeah, I think 20% drops. We may not see the big 50 and 60% drops that we've seen before, but we could. I mean, it really depends on how hot the bloody price goes when it starts to respond. We have seen, a lull in the investment from the investment on the ETFs. And that to me makes total sense. That you had an initial run of investment advisors, the kind of the edge case, the more aggressive funding sources. They came in, and now what we're seeing is this pause of people going, okay, the IRAs, the wirehouses, everyone's getting prepared. Morgan Stanley released a green light for 16,000 advisors to actively promote Bitcoin ETFs. That all will start happening this week, next week. So what, May the 1st, June, July, we got 3-4 months into summer. People will start taking off. The investment advisors will get ready for the fall. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of inflows in October, November. And I've said this for over a year. This doesn't all happen in March and April and May right after the ETF.
A quick news intermission before we continue with more of Cardone's insights. Jack Dorsey, co-founder and former CEO of Twitter, predicts Bitcoin will hit $1 million by 2030, coinciding with his departure from Bluesky due to shifts from its original decentralized vision. His fintech firm, Block, faces regulatory scrutiny affecting services like Square and Cash App. Despite challenges, Bitcoin maintains stability at around $60,000. Dorsey remains optimistic about Bitcoin's future, but regulatory pressures and market uncertainties persist as significant obstacles. Now, let's return to Cardone's video.
This is normal for Bitcoin, guys. This is just the little normal run. These people aren't looking at prices, and if they come in October, November, they're not going to care if it's 75 grand. They're going to make the allocation. And I don't think it's going to be 1%. Okay, like look at what ARK's saying. ARK's saying 20%. BlackRock's saying 28. Okay, 3.5 is fairly normal. And I went to a party last night and a week ago, and all the advisors are telling me, hey, by the way, this 1% rule doesn't really take effect on the first investment.
What is the 1% rule?
Well, this 1% allocation thing, because what really happens is a wealthy guy gets into Bitcoin. People forget, they get into Bitcoin, they're going to make an allocation of 1 to 5%, but their first one is, I'll do 2.5 million. See, it's not like that. No, they're not going to do 25 grand. Buy me 10 Bitcoin here.
Yeah.
Buy me 30 Bitcoin here. Okay,
they just immediately scoop it.
Well, for them, they're not going to make a $200,000 investment.
No,
they don't want to. It's a pain in the ass. They have to pay their lawyers. I'm just sharing my investment journey into Bitcoin. It's not investment advice. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And if other people, decide that's what they're going to do, then awesome for you. And if you don't, that's awesome also. Tiny inflows. China's not a deal. Was never going to be a deal. I think it was $12 million into the ETF.
Yeah.
Dude, it's new demand. It's cool. Like, it's going to come from everywhere. 12 million here, 12 million there.
The more on ramps,
and the more countries participating, this is good. Okay, this keeps the U.S. honest. I need more Bitcoin. See, more Bitcoin. Like, I don't worry about the dollar, the dollar value. I need more Bitcoin. You listen to this guy. He had 113,000 Bitcoin. That will never be possible for me, ever. I think I can get to 1,000. 1,000 Bitcoin to me makes this family bulletproof almost, right? If I'm doing things legally, bulletproof for like generation. As the asset class gets bigger, I don't know what this thing is.
Nothing.
But as the asset class, it's probably worth $1 billion, $1 trillion today. Bitcoin as an asset class, as the value of that asset class goes up. Saudi Aramco, for instance, biggest energy company in the world, they're worth $3 trillion. I think Bitcoin needs to be priced that way, somewhere in the $3 trillion market. That's a triple from here, dude. That's a $140,000, $150,000 Bitcoin. And that makes sense to you, doesn't it? You're like, oh yeah, $3 trillion. It could be bigger than NVIDIA, smaller than Saudi Aramco. That kind of makes sense to me, right? Like really makes sense. And so that's the long-term narrative, not the short-term narrative, what drives this price.
Yeah.
Supply and demand right now are driving this price, okay? There's more sellers than there are bidders. That's it, period. In a 3-day time frame. And we're finding out where this price wants to be. Like, this is price discovery right here. You guys are trying to figure out why is it doing this? It's doing it because the market, supply and demand, are actually trying to figure out, hey, where is the balance here? And as soon as we find that equilibrium, you'll see the market start to reverse. Until then, it's going to puke out. So what do you guys think?
What do you think about Gary Cardone's perspectives? Let us know in the comments. Meanwhile, a report from Leo Sun from The Motley Fool notes Bitcoin's remarkable one-year growth, doubling to around $60,000. This surge was primarily fueled by several factors, including the approval of the first spot price Bitcoin ETFs, Bitcoin halving in April, and market expectations of lower interest rates. Those catalysts drove some investors to make some extremely bullish predictions regarding Bitcoin's future. ARK Invest's Cathie Wood believes its price could hit $3.8 million by 2030. Venture capitalist Chamath Palihapitiya sees a price of $1 million by 2040 to 2042, and Fidelity claims that its price could reach a whopping $1 billion by 2028 to 2030. Sun states that it's simply impossible to tell if Bitcoin will come anywhere close to those estimates, so he believes that most investors should focus on its realistic upside potential instead of price targets. He reports that Bitcoin has a viable path toward reaching $100,000 by the end of 2025, which makes it quite a good bet for investors who are willing to encounter more near-term volatility. With all of that said, how do you interpret the recent challenges Bitcoin has faced in achieving higher prices? Do you believe that Bitcoin can rise to higher levels soon? And if so, when do you anticipate this to happen? We would love to hear your insights in the comment section below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Also, if you would like to be notified whenever we upload a new video, please click the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and we hope to see you in the next video.